So a lot of people have been asking me for a while now, do a lot of people in prison fake it to make it? Is there a lot of them faking the funk that just want to blend in and make it through their bid? For this video here, I'm going to be letting you know how I feel about my experience from what I've seen when it comes to how many people fake it or make it through their bid, the ones that truly ain't living like that. Let's do it. Haha, I'm the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around, I'll bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with a lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see you ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Welcome back to the channel. I want to say salute and welcome to all my new subscribers. Appreciate y'all tuning in. My name's Frog. And everything I talk about, for the most part, is prison related. For this one here, I'm finally going to be touching a topic that a lot of people have been asking me recently. And they've been asking that shit for a while, actually. Do a lot of people in prison fake it to make it? Like, how many people? Okay, now my God's honest opinion, if I had to break it down as far as like a percentage of how many people I think fake it to make it inside of prison, I'm going to say a lot, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, there's people that are actually on that, people that are actually living like that, you know what I'm saying? But out of 100%, I'd say a good 65, 70% that act like they're on that are faking it to make it. All right, you know how it is, man. People are gonna get put in certain places, and every institution's gonna be different. Okay, you know, people are gonna try to adapt to what's around them. You know, but a lot of times people will try to take the shortcut. Now, if you're one of them people that do time and you feel like, oh, you know, I'll just stay out the way, mind my business, and I'll be good. Or if you're someone that experienced that, if you actually made it through your prison bid by minding your business and you didn't have to fake it to make it and you made it perfectly fine with no problems, then bravo to you. You know what I'm saying? Tap yourself on the back. You feel me? But it doesn't work for everybody. You get what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and say, oh, just stay to yourself, mind your business, because that's what I did and nobody fought with me. In all reality, everybody's bid is going to be different. You understand? It doesn't matter if y'all went in there at the same time, got the same amount of time, got the same dorm, you know, got put in the same cell. None of that. Everybody's experience is going to be totally different. They might not really care for you and let you skate under the radar. You know what I'm saying? Or enough people might be cool with your personality and the characteristics that you carry yourself. So, you know, you got a skate pass. But the other person, you know, just because he's staying to himself, they might not like his personality. You feel me? Or they might not even care to get to know his personality or his characteristics. And then they try him and shit like that. You feel me? But as far as faking it to make it, I truly feel that there's more people in prison faking it to make it than there is that stay to themselves that get left alone. All right? So understand what I'm saying. I feel like there is more people in prison that fake like they on that gangster shit, fake like they'll really stab someone, they're down for whatever if the shit pops off, than there is ones that stay to themselves and get left alone. You see what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people gotta turn to faking it to make it, because not everybody's gonna get that skate pass. You know, not even close to half of the people is gonna get that skate pass to be able to make it through your bid without any problems. You see what I'm saying? And if you did time before or not, you know, this can apply to somebody you know on the streets. This can apply to somebody you know in school, somebody you known throughout your life, you grew up with, a childhood friend, anything like that. Everybody will know and have in their mind somebody that they know that fakes it to make it, that be faking the funk, that truly ain't with that shit. Ones that'll talk rah-rah, but you know they ain't gonna do nothing. Think about it. How many people do you know that be on Facebook that you know personally, that'll talk shit on Facebook, act like they this on Facebook, you know, act like they big and bad on Instagram and stuff like that. But then when you see them in real life, you know they're harmless. They're truly not living like that. they are faking the funk. They're faking it to make it at that time. You see what I'm saying? And in prison, everybody seems like they're on that, except for the little few that is separated. You understand? You're going to have it broken down into 3 different categories. You're going to have it broken down into the people who you know ain't living like that, the ones that want to stick to themselves with their head down, mind their business at all times. Then you're going to have the ones that you know are scary as hell, the ones that you know at the end of the day ain't going to want no pressure. You feel me? But they everybody knows them. You know, they don't stick to themselves, but everybody knows they're soft. You know what I'm saying? Because the ones who stick to themselves, they don't really know if that person's intentionally really soft or not, because they never really showed their hand. You feel me? So you got the ones they don't know about, you got the ones that they do know are soft, and then you got the ones that are on that shit. But in the middle of the ones that are on that shit, you got a big percentage of fake ones. Ones that are faking it to make it. You get what I'm saying? And I can't tell you how many times I've seen situations pop off and ones you thought were living like that are not living like that. I done seen gang members leave their own brothers when a war breaks out. Fight breaks out. 3 gang members jump on a gang member, other ones get scared, lock themselves in the cell. Like, you just left your own brother out there to get ate up by this gang. And now they're wanted by their gang. So then they check in because they left their brother like that. You know, like, certain situations is going to bring out the trueness of people. You get what I'm saying? And that's what it is. You feel me? Now, you got some people, you know, like, that will go to prison. They'll be ratchet before they went to prison. They'll be ratchet while they were in prison. And then they'll come home and either they'll, you know, still want to, you know, be ratchet. And then 9 times out of 10... you know where that leads you. That leads you right back to, you know, getting reincarcerated. You see what I'm saying? That right there is the dumb route. You feel me? I salute anybody who slowed down for the better. You feel me? Like me, for example. You know, when I was younger, I was hard-headed, I was hot-headed, I was a fool. You know what I'm saying? Was ready for whatever. Win, lose, or draw. Go up the road, did what I needed to do while I was in the chain gang. Rocked out, all types of situations, fought, slanged iron, whatever it needed, you know, to make it while I was in there. Came home from prison, realized I ain't got to go back to prison unless I want to go back to prison. You feel me? So it's like, why not just slow my roll and learn and remember how when I was in prison, wasn't nobody really there for me. So I slowed my roll and now I sit back and I'm more cool, calm, and collective. You see what I'm saying? So I did that for the better. That's what you're supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? If you was once ratchet and now you slowed down, shit, ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel me? I'm in my 30s now. You know what I'm saying? I'm becoming an old man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And this is coming from someone who didn't think they'd live to 21. You know? But you got people that'll fake it to make it, that will be something on the streets and then go to prison and act like they were living like that and then come home and go right back to who they truly were. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't really add up. You feel me? When they faked it to make it while they were in there. Being in prison, the way they were acting wasn't the real them. You see what I'm saying? They did what they needed to do. They adapted just to where they could feel comfortably and to where people will accept them. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be surprised when you find out about it. You can't be shocked or feel any type of way when it comes to the light, because you should have expected this. Because there's so many people in there doing it that it's not going to happen to you once. It's not going to happen to you 5 times. It's not going to happen to you 10 times. It's going to happen way more than 10 times that you see somebody in prison that you thought was living like that was faking it. No matter what it is, you're going to see different situations pop up and occur. That's how it is. So after you're in there for so long and you see so many people faking it to make it, it doesn't surprise you no more on who's faking it. You understand? That don't surprise you no more. It actually starts surprising you on who's real. You see? That's how it goes. You feel me? Me personally, I blended right in prison, because I was living like that on the streets before I even went up the road. You understand? Am I proud? No, I'm not. Of course not. I don't want y'all to get misconfused and think my channel is, you know, encouraging people about prison or anything like that. Because that ain't the message I put out there about my videos. You feel me? Of course I'm not proud. But I'll tell you one thing. Me living the way I lived before I went to prison made it to where I adapted and I blended in and I was ready and prepared to go to prison. You see what I'm saying? So when I got to prison, I was already prepared for it. Rather than people who are not living like that at all, just find themselves in one messed up jam and land up the road. Now it all comes at once and you don't know how to act. You don't know, you don't know certain things. You feel me? I grew up in a life of hustle. I grew up in a life of crime, a life of violence, down for whatever. Been through all types of shit before I even went up the road. Was shot and stabbed before I even went to prison. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to prison, all of it's just together. Think of all the worst things you done been through. You feel me? All the nitty gritty situations that people go through in prison. Just think about it. It's gonna all be there. There's gonna be hustling going around. There's gonna be violence. There's gonna be stabbings. Certain institutions. There could be. People sneaking shit. It's happened before. So it's like you're just living the type of stuff that you went through already with the gate around it. Well, you can't go nowhere. You got to deal with it. You see what I'm saying? So I adapted to that. You feel me? But I wasn't one of those ones faking it to make it while I was in prison because I was living like that before prison. See? Now I slowed down because the numbers only go up. You know what I'm saying? If they gave me 5 years last time, just imagine a second time. It's going to be 7 or 10 or 15 or 20. And only a fool would want to go back to do that. Because thugging it ain't cool. When I was younger, I thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying? I swore like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Boy, I'm different than everybody. You feel me? Blah, blah, blah. People know what time it is with me, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, I didn't get absolutely nothing out of that. But a loss of time with loved ones. People that ain't here no more. People that are gone, deceased, in heaven, So it's at the same time, don't be one of those ones that try to impress people. Don't try to be one of them people that live to make other people happy. You got to do what makes you happy. Because a lot of times people land up that road for going on a drive-by shooting or a robbery at a gas station or something like that. And the same people that was in the car with them when they did the robbery or did the shooting won't do time for them. So what do they all do? He did it. They all point the finger and end up telling. You see what I'm saying? So you might as well do what's best for you in your best interest. Because at the end of the day, while you're gone and you're locked up and you're away from your peoples, them same peoples you were doing that with or doing that for are on the streets with their loved ones, with their kids, fucking hoes, getting pussy, drinking, hanging out, doing whatever, making money while your ass is the crash dummy and you fell short. You see? That's what ends up happening. So that's the reason why I fell back. And me, I'm just mellow now. You see what I'm saying? But back in the day, boy, it was a totally different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I'm getting older. And I like that my messages help the younger crowd. So I'm going to try to keep it as positive as I can. You feel me? And that's what it is. I never went in prison was like, oh, I'm going to fake it or I'll make it while I'm in here. No, I'm not like that. A lot of people on YouTube may be like that. Faked it to make it while they were in there. You feel me? May have did a little bit of crime, on the streets. And then went to prison for a couple years. And the toughest shit they ever did was in prison. And then come home on the streets and now there's another, situation going down. And they curl like a cheese puff. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's like so many people fake it inside of prison that you don't really know who it is you're associating with. You don't really know who it is you're hanging out with. You may think they're your friend and you can only go off of and believe what they tell you. You know what I'm saying? They can dead ass sit there and break it down and show you their paperwork inside of prison. Bam, you could be looking dead at their paperwork like this, inspecting them, learning about them, and they can be lying about their paperwork. There could be shit that's not in that paperwork. You understand? Think about it. If you went to prison with somebody, right? And say someone, wants to run your paperwork and you told on that individual, the person that you got arrested with. They want to read your paperwork, 9 times out of 10, it might not even say that you told in your own paperwork. It might show you told in that other person's paperwork. You see? That's how it works. And the person you told on's paperwork. You feel me? And I done seen so many situations from people who were in gangs for a while, rocking out behind their nation, ones that were actually living like that, get into some shit because their co-defendant or someone that knew their co-defendant ended up coming to that camp and putting them on blast. So the whole time this person was actually wetting shit up and, you know, walking around like he was a gorilla, like he was living like that, which he was on that savage shit. The same energy wasn't there when his own gang was after him now. You see? For his paperwork. So he was faking it to make it. He was only doing that to other gangs and doing that to other nations or doing that to people who didn't gangbang because he had a gang behind him. He had a nation that was rocking behind him. You see? So he was faking it to make it. He rode it as long as he could until something came up and exposed him. And when I say this about this, how long people be in gangs and how long people do stuff with the people that are behind them, I'm not talking about just for short periods of time. There's people in prison that'll be a gang member for 20 plus years and something will surface and come out. Now their gang's after them. And then now they're scared, they check in. You see? So they were faking it with their gang because their gang had the upper hand and they had ups on a lot of other organizations. You feel me? That's what people do. So it's like they rode them 20 years out with that protection on their back. You feel me? Not saying that a gang member can't get stabbed or wet up by another gang member or by someone that isn't affiliated. It happens. But not as much as a gang member will decide to wet up someone who isn't affiliated, or not as close to as how much someone that's not affiliated will be wet up. So it kind of like takes a whole chunk of percentage of the possibilities of it happening to that same individual who was banging with that gang for 20 something years. You see? But in all reality, they faked it. They knew they was living like that, but they didn't tell their own brothers. So they did what they needed to do to get through that time. You feel me? And you're going to see a lot of people like that in prison. Believe it or not. You know, prison's one of them places where, you know how they say never judge a book by the cover? Well, prison's one of those places where you see people and the smallest, pettiest, goofiest, soft-lookingest, lamest looking white boy. You feel me? You could think he's all what I just named. And he could be a fucking smacker, a hitman in the compound, and you wouldn't even know it until it's time to when he comes for you. That's how it is, you see? So you can't just judge someone off of their looks. You know what I'm saying? And that's why so many people are able to blend in and fake it until they make it. You feel me? I'd never want to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I literally would rather, when I get locked up, I'm carrying myself the same way I'd carry myself anywhere. You know, I'm not lowering my standards at all of how I act. I'm not lowering my character at all. None of that. And if shit comes my way to where I gotta handle up, then I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna raise the stakes of how ratchet I really can be. You feel me? Because if you grew up in a life of survival on the streets, prison's the same thing, but it's just like now you live here. You feel me? It isn't like when you grew up in life of survival on the streets, you got your good days and your bad days. You got times to be there and times to get away from it. In prison, there's no getting away from it. So the pressure's going to be up here on your shoulders the whole time you're doing your bid. Unless you're one of them individuals that try to stick to their self. But like I said, you can't always guarantee you're safe by being one of those. You see what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to make this video. Because I'd say for the last year and a half, 18 months, I feel like people been asking me, how many people in prison fake it to make it? I always see people asking that. I always see it in the comments somewhere. They be asking it. How many people do you think fake it or make it in prison? And I'm here to tell you a lot. Straight up. You got people that will go to prison that are not living like that will only act like they're living like that because now they're a gang member. You see what I'm saying? And then you got other people that were living like that before they went to prison that are going to continue to live like that in prison, that'll get out and maybe change their ways. That's what I did. And you got the ones that are living like that before they go, living like that when they're in there, living like that when they get out. 9 times out of 10, they're going to go right back to where they came from because the state systems, all that, always have a place for you. You feel me? If you want to be one of those ones that fake it or make it, it's all on you. You ain't got to take my advice. But my advice to you is just be yourself. That's it. If you know you won't stab nobody, don't put yourself in those situations where you might have to stab somebody or be stabbed. You feel me? Because now all that's going to happen is in your mind, you're not even going to look at the situation to where, damn, I got to stab him. It's going to go over your head and you're just going to be looking at, he might stab me, and you're going to get scared and you're going to check in and PC up. You see what I'm saying? You got to know what it is you're getting yourself into, because if you're one of those ones that are faking the funk, it's only a matter of time until a certain situation comes to where it's going to show whether you're living like that or you're not. See what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there is an outstanding amount of people in prison that are faking it to make it. You got to just know who you're dealing with. I can't tell you how many bunkies I had that talk the talk that rah-rah like they're living like that. But then when shit goes down, I see it in their eyes. I see it in the way they move, their emotions. I could tell they're not living like that. It's kind of like in Friday, how Smokey said about Debo, when he here, I'm quiet. But when he leaves, I'll be talking again. That's what a lot of people end up doing in prison. They'll talk that talk when someone's not around, and then when that shit gets brought forward, they're truly not living like that. There's a lot of people that will go up the road and literally do not know how to do time, so they try to blend in and use any type of escape route possible in order to make it to where they feel they're accepted, to where their time is not as hard on them. And then be the same people that'll fake it to make it in prison, that'll come home and now they want to act like they're a totally different person and live like they're a new character and walk around like they was up the road whooping people, putting down, rocking out by they self. In all reality, man, you became part of a gang. That gang protected you throughout your bid. You couldn't even keep it real with them same motherfuckers on the streets nowadays. You see what I'm saying? That's how it ends up being. You feel me? But anyways, y'all drop in the comment section, man. Let me know if you know anybody that did time that was faking it to make it. If you know somebody that you grew up with, somebody that you know personally, that talks that talk, but you know won't walk that walk. It's just one of them people that want everybody to think they're living like that they're a stone cold badass, but in all reality, they're soft. If you know someone like that, explain the situation in the comment section for the other people watching. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Like I always say, y'all make sure y'all have a good day. Tune into the next one, and like I always say, make sure you keep them rat squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chasers, lying ass people on YouTube, fucking clowns, people who be trying to fake it to make it. Eventually that shit going to get exposed, you know what I'm saying? All darkness comes to the light one day. So whether it gets exposed up the road or gets exposed on the streets or however it is, either way, boy, that shit gonna come out one day. Them skeletons ain't always gonna be hidden. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna bust your bubble. You feel me? But anyways, y'all, appreciate y'all watching. Like I said, till next time, you already know this the one and only. I am my team, Frog.